Nigel, you're up. And while you're getting yourself settled down there, has everyone seen the second page of the press this morning to see how Brighton is going ahead and how it's being rejuvenated, and it's actually done, it's good, read it, it's on page 2, so it's very good reading. Okay, Nigel.
Just like to acknowledge Celeste for her good work on New Brighton.
No, it's in the paper, read it. Thank you, Nigel.
Must be true. Morning. So the purpose of this report is to provide staff advice on how the additional funding that was allocated through the events, for events through the 24-34 long-term plan will be split between the partner agencies, noting that this advice includes input from both from relevant partner agencies and takes into account the additional funding available for major events as a result of the cancellation of SailGP. I'll highlight a few key things and then probably just take the paper as read and go from there. Mm-hmm. So what we're proposing under 3.7 is the additional event funding of 1.2 million in 24-25 is allocated as follows, which is $400,000 to Venues Otatahi for events that happen in Venue Otatahi managed venues, $400,000 to Christchurch NZ for the Screen Canterbury grant of $100,000 in 24-25, with the balance to be used for major events or business subvention, and $400,000 to be held by the Christchurch City Council for the City Identity event and the Arts and Culture Fund. The reason we've recommended 24-25 in terms with the opening of Patakuri and One New Zealand Stadium at Tikaha, I think it's timely to do a quick review of the roles that Christchurch NZ, Venues Otatahi and the Christchurch City Council play in that event ecosystem. And once that work's completed, we'll provide in terms of staff advice on how it should be split in the following years in the LTP.
Done? All good? Yep, I'm happy to move this. Sam's happy to second it. You've got a question? No. Oh, you were going to second. Okay. Councillor Johansson has a question.
Yeah, I guess I was interested in what happened with SailGP, for example, where, we allocate an events cost, but then there's also additional. So, we were told that, and this is public information, there's an incentive fee of 400,000, and then there was 300,000 in-kind contribution. And I'm just wondering, where does the in-kind contribution come from? Does it come specifically from the events funding that we're tagging today, or is that through other funding realms?
Generally, if it's value in kind, then there's no charge for it. It might be marketing or stuff that's not charged for, so it's not accounted for in any of the financial grants that are made. It's in kind. Does that make sense?
Not really. So,
but when you talk about value in kind, it's things that you doing to help them out without paying for it, without a charge for it. So that value in kind is not accounted through how you'd spend on this. It's stuff that you've done to help the event out. That's value in kind. It's stuff you've done that doesn't have a cost associated to it.
So, but how do we budget for events if we make significant value? I mean, value in kind contributions. I mean, 300,000 is almost as much as the incentive fee.
So I guess an example, if the events team at council provides support to an event that's been delivered in the city in terms of it's our staff time, in terms of we don't charge them for that necessarily, but in terms of it could be valued at circa $20,000. So our value in kind contribution is that $20,000. We haven't charged for it, but it is what we've done to support that event. And I guess it's a way of reflecting the total amount of support that you've provided to an event, as opposed to, in this paper here, what we're talking about is 1 year's worth of funding. So this isn't a cash flow report, doesn't talk about what was paid the year prior or it's going to be paid in 1 or 2 years later. We're talking about what's available to be distributed in 24-25.
Okay, good on you. Thank you. So where are we at? Any more questions? Nope. All right, thank you very much. That's very clear. Any debate? Nope. Like put motion. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Thank you. That's carried. Brilliant. Thank you very much. So now we move on to the youth portfolio.